All right, welcome back, everybody. We are coming in hot. Just got back from an overnight trip. Molly and I got to take the boys to Great Wolf Lodge. First time I was ever there. If anyone is familiar with Great Wolf Lodge, let me know. It's like a water park hotel. Tell you what, whoever came up with the concept of it, they're probably rolling in it. I have receipts to attest to that, so like and subscribe. Welcome back, everybody. Benji, what's going on? Benji, I actually got some mail from you. And I do have some mail that we're going to be opening up together that was sent to the P.O. Box, so shout out to everybody that sent stuff in. Jasper, I see Jasper in the chat. That is one of the said contributors. Sorry, let me get my screen, everything set up here so I can see the chat better. Gregory, Raphael, Nadav, Pete, Jim, Chris, the photo department, shout out, brother. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Gonna be opening up some mail, but Benji, I got your mail and I was like, at least I don't think there's a picture or a zine or a book in something this size, so I went ahead and opened it, and very, very kind letter, Benji. I really appreciate you, and also kudos to you on the typewriter. I've always wanted a typewriter and have never had one, and anytime I get physical mail that has a typewritten letter in it, it just sends me back to eBay or just looking online, seeing what I could find. But yeah, I appreciate that. We're going to be opening up some mail that was sent in. I also have a new zine that I picked up. I moved the camera here. Let me see how this is going. Oh, I need to adjust my exposure on the camera. 1 minute. That looks better. Persons of Interest by Stefan Vanasco. So, picked that one up. And, yeah, we'll be taking a look at that one together, as well as the mail that was sent in. Chris, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I got my mail last week from you. Post office didn't go too hard on. Okay, well, that's good, Gregory. I'm happy to hear that. I hope you enjoy those books as well. Evan, what's going on? Did you meet anyone at the mill that was also versed in photography? Great question, FC214. Also, what's up, Brian? Alejandro, appreciate y'all being here. I did not necessarily. Ben Corcoran, who he works at the paper mill. His mom works at the paper mill. Other relatives of his either do or did work at the paper mill. Very big family. Ben is a good friend of mine, and Ben is a photographer. But outside of that, I didn't really meet anybody that was interested in photography. Several people expressed interest in like what I was doing and were excited to see the photos and just excited that I was there doing that. I also had some people who were just like, why? Which is fine. It's always a mixed bag, especially in a small town, I think. So if you all haven't seen it, appreciate you mentioning that. A video went up last night rather, on photographing at the paper mill, basically sharing more of the photos, not all of the photos. I've still only shared a small fraction of the photos. I believe my current, like, whittling it down right now there, I'll explain my process here in a second on like how I go about it, but currently sitting on around like 600 images, and that's like the first round of just let me grab anything that looks remotely interesting, or has even just like a tiny chance of possibility. Because when I was there, I was shooting everything. There was no discipline. There was no let me think for a minute and take my time before I take the photo, you know? It was like full ADHD. Anything I saw that caught my eye, I was taking a photo of it, and I just said, I'll decide later. Because I was working on limited time each time that I was in there. And honestly, like each time I went, I probably, I don't know, I would actually have to go back and look to see if I shot less as I went further, like with each, passing day. But each time that I was there, I kind of went into it thinking this might be my last time. Because the first time I went in, I didn't know if it was literally like this is your one chance or if it was the beginning of, more stuff like that. So, right now, I'm sitting on around like 600 photos. That it's obviously way, way, way too many. I still have so much whittling down that I need to do. But I'm going to keep that first big general selection to share with a few people, just to get second thoughts and get second eyes on things. So Kevin, one of my best friends, he specifically is one of the people that immediately when I started kind of looking through this, I just told him, like, I'm going to have a Dropbox link, or I'm going to have something to send over just to get some eyes on it, because I've always trusted Kevin's input on my photos. I love what he picks up when he's looking at anyone's work, not just my own. And so I'm going to be getting more whittling down to that. But if you haven't seen, I made a video sharing more of the photos and the process and everything, making prints on the physical paper from the mill, which was really cool. And just a really cool response to that video. So if you haven't seen it yet, check that one out on the channel. That would mean a lot, because this is like, I've kind of gone, I was talking about it to a friend the other day, feeling like I've been in like a photography or creative in general kind of limbo, where I'm still interested, but not, it's sort of like any post-project season where it's like, well, what's next, and you kind of float around for a little bit. And I always struggle with that. I really struggle with it. And being able to focus on something that isn't just out of my own mind or like my own experiences, it's more about other people and trying to not do a job for those people, but in a way, like, it just adds a different layer to it that I think, going back to when I did more portrait photography full-time for a living, there was so much of that I got out of it, and so much of that was like feeding me, I mean literally in terms of like paying bills, but literally the staying engaged with it and working with people and having that feedback with people and feeling like the photos meant something. It's just a different kind of fuel, I guess. And so I feel really good about having approached it and like finally working on it. So yeah, I want, this is all that to say, this has just kind of reinvigorated that and has made me want to find more projects and just things to immerse myself in outside of just my own like personal bubble, if that makes any sense. I don't know, let me know. Matthew, what's going on? Jasper, I do think I am gonna, I know I'm gonna be at the fair on Sunday. The school that Nora goes to, the School for Kids with Disabilities, they always do a thing on Sunday called the Fair for All, and it's basically anyone is welcome to sign up their kid. If their kid has any sort of disability, they can sign them up to go out and they'll walk with the goats, and kids from 4-H that are taking their goats will volunteer and like walk with the students with disabilities to give them a chance to have that same kind of experience. And it's amazing, and we cry every year watching it. And So I'm going to be there for that, just for Nora, obviously, but I also take photos for the school now as well. And so I'll be there for that. And outside of that, I'm sure we'll take the kids. We usually do one day at the fair with the kids. And by that, they're over it. But I want to spend more time there this year, taking photos. And again, that aspect of working on the paper mill project, that sort of like photographing local things outside of just my own personal life experiences, that sort of thing. That's kind of gotten me more in that headspace of like wanting to go there and take photos. Because I feel like every year I think I'd like to go to the fair and take pictures, but I never really make the time for it. The fair week rolls around, and I think it's because like Molly and I are just all hands on deck surviving summer break, like most parents can probably relate. Where fair week hits, and it's always like the week right before school starts, and so we're just in that phase of like just getting through summer. And so I would like to go there. I started a project that unfortunately COVID kind of disrupted. Was taking photos of a local kid who was taking a steer that he got in the calf scramble the year before, which is where they let all the calves loose. And if you can, basically round up a calf with a lasso, and or I think you can take a lasso, but you have to be able to like muscle the calf into a certain area, and then that's the calf you get that you take next year for 4-H that you raise and take to market. And so I had started that process of photographing a kid. It was going to be his last year in 4-H, and that was going to be his calf. And then COVID happened. The fair didn't happen. The whole thing just basically, and it all ended there. And I've wanted to get back to working on some kind of 4-H project, like photographing someone in 4-H. I've wanted to get back to it every year since then, but I've also got 3 kids, and so it'll happen one of these days. I'm glad FC214 says, I appreciated the bit in the video talking about the FOMO element of a shoot and coming to peace with not capturing everything. Yeah, I felt really compelled to share that specifically because that's the one thing I struggle with so much. And so I'm glad that bit seemed to resonate like I hoped it would, It was reaffirming that not everybody, or that I'm not the only person that struggles with that kind of thing. Oh, Jamie, that's awesome. Enjoy it. Summer Nights Walking. So that was one of the books I let go of in my recent book sale. So if anybody's looking for any photo books, now would be the time. If there's a book in my collection that skateboarding books are off limits. There's going to be exceptions to. I'm not going to sell every or any book, but I've been able to let go of a lot more than I thought I would. Put one of them kids in 4-H. That's the plan. At some point, Elliot will absolutely be in 4-H. I know he would love it. Tim, what's going on, man? Good to see you. We are about to open up. Let me jump over here. We're going to take a look at some mail from Jasper, who's in the chat. Oh, nice, dude. First of all, the presentation. Memory fragment, 4 of 8. Nice. Let me read this here. Awesome. It says, cut for space. Thanks for reliving these memories with me. From shooting to developing to printing and bindery, my hands were on every aspect of this book. Enjoy. Jasper. Amazing. Excited to check this out. Let's see here. Wow. That looks so cool. That color printed on on this craft, like craft brown kind of color. Love that. Oh, this is rad. Open this up. There we go. This introduction here says, at the tail end of October 2022, I made the decision to move somewhere, anywhere. After a short time looking for jobs in different states, I landed a screen printing job in Columbus, Ohio. A month later, I was on the road with everything I needed in the back of my car, moped in tow, and my dog Zeke at my side. Hell yeah, shout out to Zeke. This collection of photographs is my memorandum of memories from that time living in Ohio. What I didn't know at the time I left my longtime home in Billings, Montana, was that I would feel so welcomed in Columbus with a sense of belonging I had not felt in any other place I'd ever lived. Finding community in photography and mopeds, the two things my world revolves around, was an important stepping stone for feeling at home while being away from my family. Hell yeah. Amazing to hear. Always happy to hear when people are having a good time in Ohio. This is awesome, man. Oh, that's super cool. I really love these two photos like butting up against each other like that, where this kind of feels like one you know, continued. That's great. Love that. Oh, amazing. That spread was the inspo for the whole book. Yeah, that's super cool, man. I really, really like that. Really good, like, cooler colors right here, and then a nice, like, really warm in the shadows and everything. It's a really nice contrast. That's awesome. Oh, hey, Chillicothe. Right? Am I wrong here, Jasper? Is this Chillicothe? I'm pretty sure that's on Mulberry. On like the corner of Mulberry and 4th? That looks, at least it looks almost identical. If that's not. Yes, okay, it is. See, come on. Your boy knows that. This right here, I believe, was like right next to it. But this isn't here anymore. This is a parking lot. If that's the building that was directly across right there, that's yeah, that's no longer there. I think there was a fire, or maybe I might be thinking of the house that was next to it. I think there was a fire, but regardless, that's a parking lot now. What's up, Clayton? Oh, right on. Oh, here's a good, here's another one. I like that. See, that's something that I would have never thought to do, is butting up photos in the gutter like that. But that's great. That's awesome. I really like this one here. That's fun. Hey, wait a minute. That's a Nathan Hirschler right there, dude. Hell yeah. I could tell that one, this right here, this doorway is in Surveyor. Or not the doorway, really, but it's more of the reflection with a ladder in the window. I just happened to see that, though, and I was like, I know that, dude. That's awesome. That's a nice portrait. Yeah, yeah. If you, I'm trying to. It's towards the very end of the book. It's one of the last couple photos, if I remember right. I haven't looked through it in a minute myself, but I'm pretty sure. This is rad. I love the pairing of these two photos as well. Clayton says, I'd love to make a small zine one day. Absolutely. Go for it, man. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Yeah, I like that one as well. That's awesome. Yeah, I love these that are printed on the cover itself. Scioto Miles. Jasper, really appreciate you sending that in. That's awesome, man. Put that over here. Really appreciate that, Jasper. That's sick. And I love the way it was wrapped up as well. It's like a Christmas present. Grab one more here. Next up, we've got something from Danny Hudson in Long Beach. So, let me, see where my knife is. All right. Add this. There we go. So let's see what we got. Ah, yeah, I remember Danny reaching out to me about this. So this is a... Well, let's look at it together, because I don't want to misspeak. I remember him reaching out about this being sort of a collective of people that are wanting to start something that's like a recurring zine that, you know, it's not just a one and done thing, but it's something that is specifically for people who want to consume photography in physical form. Street photography, specifically, I believe. Let me read this here. I'm going to read it to myself first, so that way I don't want to start reading and say something that I shouldn't publicly say. All right, beautiful. It says, Matt, we appreciate you truly. Thanks again for being open to receiving this and for creating space for projects like this one. Indio Zine Issue 1 came from a deep place built with care, collaboration, and a belief in lasting things. We're currently working on Issue 2, and we're aiming for a December release. Feels good to be building momentum, and knowing this first issue is landing in your hands means a lot. Whether it ends up on the stream, the shelf, or passed along to someone else, just glad it's part of your rotation. Big thanks again for the support. It goes further than you know. Danny, I appreciate you taking the time to send this in, my man. This is super cool. Being able to see anything in physical form, especially in the photography space, and people that are encouraging it, that's awesome. Editor's letter. I'm going to read this as well. Welcome to the first issue of Indio Zine. In your hands, you hold something more than a collection of photographs. You hold stories shaped by those willing to step outside, observe, and share what they discover in the everyday scenes that surround us. We strive to be a guide for photographers who seek to bring their perspectives into focus. We recognize the challenge of honing your craft, of capturing those fleeting moments that hold meaning beyond a single image. Through this publication, our aim is to connect you with a community of creators who understand the spark behind every shot and the determination it takes to evolve. As you turn these pages, consider the journeys of each featured photographer. Their work reflects the heartbeat of places and people, inviting you to view the world through fresh eyes. We hope these images encourage you to continue exploring, to find your own voice, and to inspire others along the way. Thank you for being a part of this narrative. Your presence here as a reader and potentially a contributor is what makes this endeavor meaningful. The Indio Zine is a platform built on shared curiosity and collaboration. Together, we shape the future of street photography and celebrate the moments that move us all. Well, right on. To the visionaries who turn everyday scenes into extraordinary narratives, this is for you. The photographers who not only see the world as it is, but as it could be, and who invites others to see it through their eyes. Right on. So we got several features here. Total of 6 different features. Hell yeah. Let's take a look. This says, I've lived hundreds of lives in back pockets, dusty shelves, on tables where coffee rings become halos, faded by sunlight, overheard in silence, stillness stitched into time. Ryder Collins, County Fairs in Washington State. First of all, just the design, I'm into it. So far, I think this is really sick. I haven't seen any of the photos. Oh, rad, we got actual interviews, too. This reads like a skate magazine, and I'm hyped on it. I'm not going to read the interviews here, because I don't think anybody will will want that. Listen to me read the entire thing, but let's take a look at the work. Again, county fairs in Washington State. It's funny, we were just talking about photographing the county fairs. Yeah, this is awesome. Beautiful. I love this one here. That's great. Oh, hell yeah. Matthew says, that's my dude. Got to shoot with him recently. Great dude. You love to hear it. When you meet photographers and they're good people, I think we've talked about that before. That makes it even better. Hell yeah. Support Ryder Collins. Instagram is at Street Photography is Dead. This is a super clean and simple layout. I'm hyped on how they're doing this. AJ, bring me your computer. I need to see all the stuff. Yeah, dude, there are so many photos. I'm still flagging any train photos that I come across. Those get the AJ pick. Oh, happy birthday, AJ. AJ's on stream. Everybody show AJ some love in the chat. Tell him happy birthday. This says, I don't raise my voice, I let it settle beneath the weight of what's unsaid. Between glances, if you rush past me, you'll miss the part that was meant just for you. Hell yeah. Manuel Almenarez, La Habana, El Monte de Manuel. Okay. Oh, wow. That light. That's gorgeous. Oh, what's up, Matt? Joining a bit late after a hot mountain bike ride. I believe it, man. This weather. This is awesome. Yes, the whole interview is in Spanish, which is amazing. I'm trying to not only brush up, but improve my Spanish that I took in high school. In fact, Elliot is my main reminder every day. He's like, have you done your Duolingo yet? I'm on a 40-day streak. And I'm like, yes, son, you're better than me in every way. I know. What's up, Chris? Oh, wow, look at that. Immediately, I thought back to the Elliot Erwitt photo. I believe, was it Vietnam that the photo was? If I remember right. Immediately came to mind. Oh, amazing. Jorge says, I was born in Cuba, walked some of those streets a time or two. One thing I've noticed, I've never been to Cuba, but there seems to be a lot of dog photos that come out of there, as we've seen here, but also just in general, and that always makes me happy. Love this one here too with the fish. Yeah, these are great. Super glad Danny reached out and sent this, because the initiative itself, I'm really into that, but the work is great as well. Yeah, support Manuel, IG. Let me get that up on screen here so you can see the proper spelling. Focus. There we go. IG Manuel Almenarez Studio _studio. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that at all. There we go. But yeah, love the minimal and like simple design. But it's not just boring. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, it has a distinct look to it, but it's clean. Number 3, this says, you call them photos, I call them memories. Proof that someone saw and kept seeing when others chose to look away. I remember every moment, every nearly missed truth. I like that. Nick Grinder, loneliness and beauty sometimes occupy the same space. Something about the vertical lines here and the ladders. Immediately, my eye just like drug those two things together. Love that. Rakesh, what's going on? We're taking a look at Indio zine. Indio? Danny, you got to send me a voice memo and pronounce it for me, so I'm not butchering it. I said Indio at first. That was where my mind, that's what I read, but I could be wrong here. Oh yeah, Matt says, did you get any water in the barn from all that rain? Your Instagram story looked scary. Yes, well, no water in the barn. Thankfully, everything in here was dry. But I was out here checking pretty frequently that day. Thankfully, everything here, in terms of like when they built out here, they kind of raised the barn, like where the barn was built. They kind of raised it up a little bit, and I'm glad they did, because there's a small creek that runs along the back of our property that is definitely the issue. It's fully backed up. So much stuff has washed up over the last few years, but also every time we get really heavy flooding like that, it just washes up with tons of stuff, tons of different trash and things like that. It's like every time I mow after a flooding like that, I end up, picking up a bunch of trash. So this is at Nikki Picky, Nikki _Picky _. That's funny. But yeah, we had crazy flash flooding here, and so thankfully everything was dry, but it's only going to get worse as time goes on. So now I've got a new project and need to find either a backhoe or an excavator and a dump truck. And that's how I'm going to have to figure out what to do back there. But so this one is Danny Hudson, who sent the zine. Says lost in transit somewhere between now and never. So Danny is the one who reached out, and yeah, I'm excited to see it. LTK Photo, thank you. I appreciate that. That was we were talking about it at the start of the stream. That one was one of my favorite videos in a while, just in terms of the subject matter, like the photos I was actually happy with or excited about. So I appreciate that. Yeah, well, luckily everything in here is dry, and like I said, the books and everything is up off the floor. Everything is on shelves, so I knew even if I did get water, that stuff was safe. But still, I was sweating bullets. Like both of these a lot. Got nice, like, mostly dark image, mostly light, and the subject here off in the distance. Yeah, I like that pairing a lot. Long Beach, that's right. That's where this one was coming from. So I wonder where everyone, like, if everyone's all kind of spread out, everyone that's contributing. Danny Hudson, Instagram at capped_photo. Number 5, I speak in layers. What you grasp now may not be what you hold tomorrow. Meanings drift, settling only when you're still enough to notice what was always there. Most truths don't shout, they wait. This is Homesick for Places I've Never Known by Justin Garr. That one immediately grabs your attention with that silhouette and the smoke. That's awesome. Really like both of those, honestly. Wow. Damn, that's good. The pairing on this one right here, I gotta... So there's one reality. And there's the other. Damn. That's super good. Guy outside of a Target. That's awesome. Super funny pairing. Love that. Justin Garr, just at Justin Garr, G-A-A-R. And then the final feature in the zine, number 6, without eyes I become a memory. It's not in creating alone, but also the witnessing that gives art its breath. You don't just view, you resurrect. Every time you pause, every time you feel, you remind the world why this matters. This is Rafael B. Braga, Between Movement and Light, Street Photography as a Form of Belonging. I'm excited to read these interviews after the stream. Like that guy's expression there. Hell yeah. And then Instagram there, Rafael B. Braga. What we got back here? This says, so if I found you and you found me, linger. This is not context. No, sorry, this is not content, it's context. A companion, a mirror made of shadows, a teacher that doesn't need ink to draw blood. Right on. Right on. So they do like a little, like a limited tee with each issue. So issue 1 says this isn't just a shirt, it's a timestamp, a gesture, a wearable page from the first chapter. Released with the debut issue of the Indio Zine, this limited tee marks the beginning for us, for the artists, and for those who pay attention. Right on. So it looks like they got a website. You can scan the QR code to hit up the website if you want to pick up the zine or the shirt to go with it. Discord. Right on. So this is issue 1. So they're looking to make something more than just obviously a one and done thing. They're trying to make something that people can actually engage with as new issues come out. Also submitting their work to be contributed. Pretty rad initiative. Like I said, I like the concept of it in general, but the work is great. It's printed really well. It's like a nice, I mean, that's a very, you know, if this was a skate magazine, I'd be pretty hyped on getting a magazine with that much in it. So, hell yeah. Shout out to Danny and Indio Zine, everybody that contributed. That was awesome. Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Simon? Says, oh shit, look who managed to open YouTube in time for this, finally. Enjoy that lens, Simon. I know you already are, but I'm glad. Oh, here, I'll show you what I've been up to. I was going to ship this out yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to because we left, took the boys on that trip I was talking about earlier. Cyanotypes. Finally, again, I have been wanting to for a while. It's been years, or I guess I should say it had been years since I'd made any cyanotypes. So finally got some fresh chemicals, and we're back in business. So I've been using the P900 and some transparency film to basically make larger negatives to make prints like this. This one I shared. Jasper, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I shared the story, or I shared this on my Instagram stories just in the process of doing that. And a photographer, that friend of the channel, Justin, he reached out and was like, when are you going to start selling these? I was like, if you want to buy this one, you can. So I'm going to be shipping this one out to him. Gregory, funny you mentioned that. It says, I liked the flower one you did. That one, Tyler bought. So I wasn't anticipating anyone being interested in these, but if you want to buy a cyanotype, reach out, let me know. I would be more than happy to make one, like make a custom one if you're interested of any like particular photo. But I just, yeah, it's been a while since I've done any cyanotypes, and wasn't expecting anyone to be interested in them. But if you want to buy any prints or anything, now would be a great time. So send me an email if you're interested in anything specific. Other than that, I'll probably put together like a small, I don't know, I'll probably just try and make as many like either prints from Surveyor or a friend of mine, or just in general any prints. I don't know. Regardless, I'm thinking about making a set of cyanotypes to put up on the site in the shop, because every little bit helps. So I appreciate anybody who's interested in something like that. Or the book, Surveyor. Obviously, that's another huge way to support. Appreciate all of you that have picked up a copy of that. Oh, no. Hold on one second. Sorry, it says, anyone else having audio lagging behind video? Let me see here. Can I... It says I have excellent connection. Now? Still? If I hit stop streaming on OBS, does that mean audio ahead of video? Now that you mention it, it kind of does. Am I like slightly? If I hit stop streaming on OBS and not on YouTube to like end the stream, you guys will still be here, right? It'll maybe just like go black for a second. Should I try it? Slava, I appreciate that. It says, glad I joined the stream while it's still live. Greetings from rural Ontario. Really loved your paper mill video, Matt. Thank you. I appreciate it. Don't worry about it. Okay. If you guys don't mind it, I mean, I can't tell. I'm not hearing my audio, so I I have to go off of you guys. So if it's fine for you guys, I'll just keep it rolling. Hell yeah. Chris says, rural Ontario, represent. I'm just here playing Elden Ring Night Rain. So yeah, I'll be here. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, perfect. No, I get that. Well, yeah, let's take a look at Stefan Vanasco's zine that I got right here. Persons of interest. The Great Vanzini, yes. Paper mill video was really good from the heart. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Just chilling in North Carolina, editing some work. Hell yeah. This here says, the following curation of photographs are captured memories of chance encounters with people who have in one form or another influenced me in my life. Some frames were recognizable as an instant moment. Some took longer to realize. The goal of sharing these photos is to show my acknowledgement of the influence and everlasting impression these individuals have had on me, as well as countless others. I hope this energy translates through the following pictures. And I even got a little print to go with it. Hell yeah. Stefan Vanasco, Persons of Interest, 2012 to 2024. I've always wanted to do something with all of the portraits. Not portraits that I was paid to take, anything like that, but just of the friends and family, stuff like that. Because that kind of stuff I've never really put into a book or a zine. He says, wait, that's ASAP Rocky. Yeah, and that's Alex Olson. You're going to see a lot of well-known people in this one. He Stefan has photographed everybody. This is one of our own. This is one of photography's most, or should be at least, will go down as one of the greats, the one and only Andre Wagner. Earl sweatshirt. That's old dude from Lamb of God, I think. I was never a big Lamb of God person, but yeah, Randy, that's it. Randy Blythe. I know he's a photographer as well. That's the only reason I know him. Not from Lamb of God, but I had friends that listened to Lamb of God, but it was just one of those bands I never got on like a kick. I never picked up a record, so I never went down the rabbit hole myself. I just heard what my friends were listening to. Mickey Ray's and Jim Thiebaud. Some skateboarding legends. Another world that Stefan is very much involved in and has been around in. Mac Miller. Damn. It's a great photo. Portrait. I like that expression. Jason Dill. Hey, that's one I've got. I think I've still got it. Jason Dill's book. I think it's called like Prince Street or something. It's a really big photo book of his that I got. I bought because it's Jason Dill. But that's one that I'm like, I don't need this book. So if anyone out there listening wants a copy of Jason Dill's Prince Street, if you're like a skateboard fan and collector of just anything skaters have made, that might be one someone else will enjoy more than I did. Looks like Jonah at the mid-90s premiere. Damn. Keith Huffnagel. Rest in peace. Corey says, is there a massive overlap between skaters and photographers? Absolutely. There are so many skateboarders that have become photographers just because, one, they're often around other photographers, and I think skateboarders are just like, they're curious people, you know, and it's like, I don't know, it's one of those things that just clicks, and it's like you're always looking for skate spots, you're looking for things to skate, just like photographers are always looking for spots to take photos. There's something about it, they just go hand in hand. if I remember right, that's Estevan Oriol, right? It's kind of hard to see his full face. There you go. Pretty sure that's him. Yeah, Chris, if you're interested, I'll send you some photos of it so you can see what you think. It's just a really big book. Like it's a dense book in terms of like how many, the page count and how many photos and all that, but it's also just it's massive, and it's one of those things that I it takes up a lot of space, and I'm like, for a book I think I looked at one time, it takes up an awful lot of space. That's the guy, right? Shepherd Ferry. Carlos, this is Stefan Vanasco, Persons of Interest. I don't know if this one is still available on his site, but I picked it up. It arrived sometime in the last week because I took a quick flip through it, and then I was like, all right, we'll check it out on the stream. There's Tyler. Also the cover image inverted on this like kind of turquoise color, teal color. I like that. Yeah, this is rad. Persons of Interest 2012 to 2024. StefanVanasco.com if you're interested. He's done other zines as well, but this is the most recent one, and I don't know if it's still in stock, but regardless, check him out, follow him. Good dude, great photographer. And I believe, yeah, that's all the mail that was picked up from the P.O. Box. So big thanks to everybody that sent in stuff. P.O. Box 2006, Chillicothe, Ohio 45601. That is where you can send anything if you'd like to send in a zine or a book or prints or just a letter to say hey, like Benji did. Shout out to Benji. I appreciate that. Yeah. If you want to send anything in, that's where you can send it. I appreciate you all that do. Yeah, Carlos, that's right. Stefan does amazing aerial photography. Does like workshops via helicopters and taking photos that way. His aerial stuff is so rad, and the photos he's got of, was it the Dodgers Stadium at night? If I remember right, there's a specific photo of like the Dodgers Stadium. I'm not a baseball guy, or I don't follow MLB. Did they win the World Series? Like, I feel like he got like a really special time specifically when he shot one of the photos. It wasn't just that it was like an amazing photo, but it was like an aerial photo of the stadium as well as like big moment, if I remember right. Regardless, I just remember seeing that and being like, I wish that was my team, because I'd buy a print of that and put it up on the wall. But I don't follow baseball. I don't need a big print of Dodger Stadium. Oh, hell yeah. Carlos says, yes, I have that print. Met up with him to grab it. Amazing. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Oh, Simon says, it is in stock, and I definitely just bought a copy. Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. He, like I said, when photographer, like, enjoying a photographer's work, that's great, but when they're good people, it makes it even better. So, yeah. Shout out to Stefan. Definitely check that one out. But yeah, I have, again, thank you to everybody who watched the video that went up yesterday. I've got another video going up tomorrow. It's funny, the two sides of YouTube. This video that I put up yesterday was all about the paper mill project, and I don't think there was a single mention of anything technical in terms of the photos themselves. Like, I don't think I said a single thing about the lens that was used in any of them, the camera, exposure stuff, lighting. Like, there was zero technical stuff. It was more about the story of the photos. And then tomorrow's video is just all everything that wasn't in there. So it's all about camera stuff and lenses, and just it's all about the Nikon Z system, as I've been using it for almost 10 months now. So just sharing all of my thoughts, pros and cons that I've found using it, as well as just what surprised me. And yeah, a lot of photos and a lot of video. It's probably going to be mostly just me filling all of the audio of me talking about the camera and just sharing my thoughts. You're just going to see a lot of photos that I've made over the past 10 months or so. So there's the balance for the month. But that video will be up tomorrow. I need to just finish up a little bit on the edit tonight, just adding in some more photos, and then that'll be up tomorrow. And yeah, then July is over. It's crazy. Chris, thanks for hanging, man. Says you're a wild man staying up past 10 p.m. That's actually my cue. I was about to wrap it up for the night. It's been, a busy past 24 hours with the kids at Great Wolf Lodge, but they had a blast. So, gonna wrap that up tonight. Wrap up the stream now. If you have any last minute questions or anything you want to shout out, now is the time in the chat before we hang up. But once again, of course, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Always look forward to Wednesday nights, so I appreciate all of you, especially everybody that sent stuff in. Again, if you want to send stuff in that we share on stream, P.O. Box 2006, Chillicothe, Ohio. Other than that, we'll be here next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m., just like every week. And if you haven't seen the paper mill video, check that one out, and new video coming tomorrow. So Matt, appreciate that. I'm happy to hear that, man. If nothing else, if Wednesday night is good for just a nice little break in the middle of the week, I'm happy for that. Eric says it's like watching an old dubbed karate movie. If anyone remembers Funaki, indeed. That's all I'll say. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you guys again. And I'll see you next week.